So the game. Our next break to cover screen to this game with Clippers and
It's the 2K game show.
Hello, basketball fans. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. Tonight, we'll be watching the Milwaukee Bucks playing against the Los Angeles Clippers. Well, for the Clippers, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. Well, we're going to see Doc Rivers on the sidelines tonight, and there is no doubt he's been a successful coach wherever he's been. This question for you, Kenny. How would you grade his handling of the Clippers roster during his tenure?
Well, it's never easy being both president and the team coach. I mean, think about this. That's a lot of pressure because when the coach...
Hello and thanks for joining us, 2K Sports fans, for another exciting presentation of NBA basketball. Kevin Harlan here along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. After this game, the Bucks head back out on the road. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Clippers team. A year ago, they each gained a victory at home, but couldn't secure a win on the road.
And here we go. The first in what will be a 3-game season series between the two teams.
Yeah, no splits here, partner. One team will have bragging rights, and a win tonight is the first step.
Now, here's Antetokounmpo. Lets it go from 11. They get it again. Carter Williams with it. Over in the corner, Antetokounmpo. Back to Carter Williams. And so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line. To shoot two.
And when it comes to Michael Carter Williams, guys, I feel like people either love him or they don't buy him at all. I mean, he has the size, he's a good athlete, he plays hard, but he's also had some injuries, and he's been very inconsistent at times.
He doesn't get the second one. Well, going back to Michael Carter Williams, he is a polarizing prospect. For example, Greg, and you played the position, he gives you a lot of assists, but he also averages over 4 turnovers a game. That was just last year.
Yeah, that's true. And he gives you plenty of rebounds and steals as well. But sometimes the shot also, Kevin, not necessarily where you'd like it to be. At times he couldn't throw a rock in the ocean. This guy just really struggled. But the talent is there. It's just going to take some time for him to mature. And the jury's really still out on him.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got, Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan, and it's Green in at the small forward position. Paul with the buckets.
And I love the tenacity, guys. He simply can will his way into games at times and exert his presence.
So for the Bucks, their last game, a loss to the Los Angeles Lakers.
And you know what? Had to lose that game because you had to be proud of the way they battled in it.
Yeah, I suppose that's right, but it still was heartbreaking. I mean, you hate to lose in OT, no matter how hard you played. You want to come out on top if you're going to play those extra minutes.
Here's Paul, following the basket by Chris Middleton, and he gets it to go.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Carter Williams kicks to Middleton, and J.J. Redick picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Middleton. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Lakers.
It's an awkward pass to try to make on the interior.
That's good. And 12 points for Chris Paul.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force of this run.
And the points are starting to add up in a hurry, especially when you're giving up those looks from deep.
Now, here is Monroe. That's good.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Boy, Doc Rivers keeps on leading his teams to successful seasons. A former coach of the year rarely has a season where his team doesn't meet expectations.
Griffin against Parker. Griffin passes to Paul. There's Green with the three. The shot no good. Now the Bucks take it the other way.
Not a problem when that's your first miss of the game. Strong start.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
And Doc Rivers passed the 700 win mark as a coach last season. He's climbing the ladder in career wins.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know that Doc oftentimes gets enough credit for the type of coach he is. I mean, as a coach, he is well over 500 in terms of his career win percentage. And how about over 5 games as well?
Redick with a screen on Carter Williams. Picked by Griffin. Over in the corner, Green bangs home the trifecta.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing 4 of the last 5 makes coming from long range.
Now here's Antetokounmpo. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Paul for 3. The Clippers keep it alive. And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
And it's like raining buckets right now. I wonder if this is the early stages of a blowout.
Well, we got to be careful. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves just yet. But it has been pretty ugly so far, no doubt about that.
DeAndre Jordan has been extremely productive over 7 years. That makes it even more unbelievable that there was some question, Clark, as to his commitment to basketball coming into the league.
Yeah, you know, on talent and athleticism alone, he would have been a top 10 pick for sure, but he slipped to the second round, and he's made good on it, though.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bucks. Plumlee, he's checked in for Monroe. Henson comes in for Jabari Parker. O.J. Mayo, he's checked in for Chris Middleton. And Jared Bayless subbed in for Carter Williams. 6 to shoot, and it's out of bounds. The Bucks able to retain possession here.
And watching DeAndre Jordan, he's really refined his game over the years without losing the athleticism. He's that rubbery, long-limbed athlete that transcends age. And so far, I've seen 0 drop-off in his leaping ability and quickness. But no question, he's improved his skills and IQ.
Clippers leading by 10. Here's Rivers. Pass to Pierce. Puts one up from 19. And it's the Clippers scoring again.
And talking about DeAndre Jordan, he is displaying an energy level that many scouts wondered if he had. Let's face it, he underachieved a bit in his 1 year in college. He knows that. But when it's come time to do it at the highest level, DeAndre has risen to the occasion.
Already seizing control of this game.
Total control, Greg, and as well as they're playing at both ends, I look...
Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. And so it's Milwaukee now. They trail by 16. Shot clock at 6. They need this.
In building this lead, they've done a terrific job finishing their defensive sequences with the backboard. That has been key.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. Not one second chance bucket for the opposition. They're boxing out on every shot.
There's a screen. Rivers dishes to Pierce. Again, Los Angeles.
Paul Pierce with a sweet finish.
Here is Bayless. He's guarded by Rivers. Henson with the screen. Now Bayless. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. The 17-footer. They get it back.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean,
and now your Milwaukee Bucks. And you talk to Chris Paul, and it's clear he was born to play the point guard position.
Fortunately, I've always been vertically challenged, so I've never had to play power forward or center on anybody's team. I've been passing and getting into the lane, dishing the ball off to a teammate, helping people score my entire career.
Vertically challenged, that's classic coming from Chris Paul. But, you know, seriously, Greg, he's taken that challenge and made the most of what he's got. A terrific player.
Really, and you know what? He's actually turned that challenge on its head when he goes right at much bigger players and uses their size against them.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Clippers.
They've made the commitment to get out and run, and it's paid off with some highlight reel plays in transition.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Here are the 5 the Clippers have to start the second. Redick and Crawford, the sharpshooters outside. DeAndre Jordan is out there with Green, and it's Paul in at the 1.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Carter Williams kicks to Monroe. That drops. Monroe's got his 3rd basket of the night.
What a smart pass by Carter Williams right there. Fellas, I'll tell you, I was really surprised when Michael Carter Williams got traded last season. It's so hard to find point guards with his length and instincts. I mean, you just have to wonder what's going on in Philly.
Bucks trail by 17. Stops, pops, and Paul pulls it down. Now here's Redick, the fast break opportunity. Passes it to Paul. The 3. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
Once again, the defense letting them get open at the three-point line. That's a major mental mistake there. You've got to get to the shooter.
Timeout called the Bucks.
Chris Paul, guys, for the last decade, the best point guard in the NBA. Now, there's some new competition for that distinction, though, with Steph Curry breaking through to NBA stardom. And it's always exciting to watch these two go head-to-head.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Cole Aldridge, he's checked in for Jordan. Griffin comes in for Green, and it's Pierce in for J.J. Redick. How would you compare Chris Paul and Steph Curry?
Well, Steph Curry is just an off-the-chart shooter. I think the best in the history of the game in overall shot making and creativity as far as shooting goes. Paul is more of an orchestrator, a maestro supreme.
Here's Pierce. The shot will not go. Great D that time from Middleton. Bucks trail by 17. And Bayless kicks to Monroe. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Monroe's got 11.
That pass into the paint, that is a work of art there, dead on target.
Paul kicks to Crawford. Feeds to Griffin. Another one falls for the Clippers.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Monroe with a screen on Paul. Here's Carter Williams. Rebound by the Clippers. They led the game at 1 point by 20. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
And we've talked about how in the NBA you've got to earn your points the hard way, and that really wasn't the case in that game for them.
No, there was no hard way about it. I mean, they got their points easily on dunks and layups against a defense that really didn't offer much of a fight.
And some changes here for the Bucks. Plumlee comes in for Greg Monroe. And Giannis Antetokounmpo is subbed in for Carter Williams. Middleton against Crawford. Kicks to Pierce. Shoots. Here's Griffin, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
And guys, Blake Griffin has got to be one of the more humble stars in the league. You rarely hear about off-court issues and interviews. He's engaging and comes off kind of as a regular guy.
That's the way it appears to me, Kevin. The young man has his head screwed on pretty tight and both feet on the ground. He started out as a class act, and he stayed one.
He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. And he's on his way to the free throw line.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout, just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that can't continue. I mean, if they hope to get back in this game, I mean, it's really deflating from a morale standpoint. They need stops and points, not turnovers. And talking about Blake Griffin, one of the more well-liked players in our league, but also one of the most teed-up players, top 5 in the league for the past 4 seasons. He's been ejected from several games as well.
Crawford's shot is good.
The D has gotten a little lax defending the three-point shot at that end.
Yeah, 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have come from beyond.
Plumlee with the screen. Bayless the pass to Antetokounmpo. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And, you know, getting back to Griffin, it's hard to stay grounded in this league. All the money, endorsements, ad campaigns, commercials, and so forth, that stuff can take you off track. But I think he's going to be grounded and maintain his focus going forward.
J.J. Redick's checked in for the Clippers. A nice shot by Rivers.
And he's been the catalyst all game long. Love how he's distributing the basketball.
No doubt about it, Greg. I mean, when the offense runs through him, it's really smooth.
Timeout called, the Bucks. Austin Rivers traded for the Clippers last year. A change of scenery did him well, and he was comfortable coming off the bench.
And that's a great point, Kevin. I mean, he seemed to get steady playing time, and that's what he needed most. And also, he wasn't defined by a position. They were able to find a niche role for him to play in.
And the Clippers making a change here. Jordan's checked in. Plumlee dishes to Mayo. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And, you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that. And, you know, the role for Rivers last season was that of a bench scorer. I mean, not sure if he'll ever be a starter, but he can be a part of a winning basketball team with his skill set. Fellas, that's exactly the job the big guy has to do for him. Contest every rebound.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And it's Antetokounmpo penetrated. There's the bucket. Good. Antetokounmpo's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
And here's Rivers. It could go. He got it! Wow! He caught it! And through the first half.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith, and it's the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Chris Paul has been the story in this one. He tallied 6 three-point shots and made the opposing D have to constantly keep track of him on the perimeter. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, what did you see out there? And now, Shaq, let's get your opinion on Milwaukee.
Well, the bottom line, they got to defend the three-point line much better. They were concentrating all their effort into protecting the paint, and these guys were standing behind the line, yakum, splaka kataya, and that strategy backfired, Ernie. They gave up far too many open looks, and all those threes killed them.
That wraps it up for halftime as the game is just about to get going again in the third quarter. We will...
I don't know what was Shaq and the Jet was doing.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. It's been a clinic by Chris Paul.
Yeah, created a lot of quality shots for himself in that first half, and he knew when to pass it up when the double team came.
And that led to a first shot number for him. For those of you that are into analytics, that stat really tells how efficient a player has been, and he's been very efficient so far.
Carter Williams is the point with Middleton at the 2. The dynamite pair of Antetokounmpo and Parker at forward, and it's Monroe in at the 5 spot. That's the 5 on the floor for the Bucks. For the Clippers, Bahamute comes in for Jordan, and Wesley Johnson has subbed for Green. Screen by Monroe, and Middleton kicks to Carter Williams. And it's Antetokounmpo penetrating, and that one's good. Antetokounmpo's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And Jason Kidd has seen a lot of things in his first few years of coaching. Already changed teams once, and it had some personnel issues, but you cannot deny that he knows how to get the most out of his teams.
Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Carter Williams kicks to Antetokounmpo. Monroe against Griffin. Antetokounmpo passes to Parker. Parker sets the screen for Carter Williams. Parker drives in, and a great assist by Carter Williams as that one goes in. Carter Williams has got 3 assists tonight. Paul outside. Picked by Griffin. Redick dishes to Paul. He feeds it to Redick. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. 5 on the clock, and that one is hammered home.
Hello. I mean, that's what I call a move.
That is some artistry. Greg, you're right. On his way to the basket, he was soaring.
Hey, bump the move. How about the finish? That's right, fella. Bang that thing.
Bucks are a strong team last year at home to start the year, certainly. The whole league was marveling at their start. Much improved, Greg, from the season before, but fell off, Greg, a touch late in the season.
And Kevin, credit Jason Kidd. I mean, he got this team off to that great start, particularly at home, and they built some confidence, and that helped propel them into the playoffs. Sad to say they were still near the bottom of the league, though, in attendance.
And Middleton kicks to Monroe. Can't cash in on the 10-foot jumper.
That's a huge part of what they want to do defensively. Limit his easy chances inside.
Took him no time at all on that one. 26 points for Chris Paul.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Now Monroe kicks to Parker. And again, the Bucks miss.
Yeah, the Bucks ended, guys, with a 23-18 record at home. Really impressive for a young team. They didn't have the largest margin of victory because they won a lot of close games here at the Bradley Center.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
And there's the pass to Antetokounmpo. And it's Middleton penetrating. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him.
You know, they're not totally dominating the glass, but they're definitely doing enough to keep this lead right where it is.
Yeah, but they've separated themselves, Clark, in a number of categories. Rebounds just being one of them. And one thing that made the Bucks so strong at home was their three-pointers. Near the top in three-point percentage here at home. And easy to get the crowd into it when you knock a couple down from deep.
Griffin a screen on Carter Williams. Paul is doubled. The baseline J. Johnson's shot is off.
And as far as jump shots go, that's what you have to continue to try and get.
I don't know how that one stayed out.
And the call goes against Wesley Johnson. That's his first foul. Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Miles Plumlee's checked in for Monroe. John Henson comes in for Parker. O.J. Mayo, he's checked in for Chris Middleton. And Jared Bayless subbed in for Carter Williams. Antetokounmpo passes to Henson.
Fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was anyone, and I mean anyone, that could have stopped him on that one.
I tell you what, I'm glad they didn't try, because somebody might have got their feelings hurt.
Pass to Crawford. 1:53 left in the third. Here's Jordan, and there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You You've got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
When you're talking about the greatest clutch players ever, that list needs to include Paul Pierce. I mean, he slowed down a bit, no doubt, but don't let that fool you. If you give him any kind of look at the end of the game, he'll cut your heart out.
And there's the call on Austin Rivers. That is his first foul of the game. Poked away, stolen by Pierce. Here's Rivers.
I didn't even know he could dunk.
It doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Clippers.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggression.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
And in college, guys, Miles Plumlee had an unusual competitor at his position. It was his younger brother, Mason. I mean, they actually had to compete against one another for playing time.
The shot's good from Bayless.
And really, once he got that steal, just really nothing the defense could do.
That's why turnovers are so costly, because in many cases, they're indefensible once possession changes hands.
There's Crawford with the three, and he gets it to go. Crawford's got 5 points in the quarter. Well, Greg, going back to those Plumlee brothers you were talking about, there is competition. And then, Clark, you know, there's this friendly rivalry that'll always exist.
Yeah, the brotherly competition, if you will. They have similar bodies and share some of the same attributes as well. Drafted in back-to-back years, both toward the end of the first round. A lot of parallels.
A lot of similarities, you're right. Now here's Rivers. Again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth.
Well, this was a game.
The Bucks shooting 51% from the field. They'll take that. So for the Clippers right now, Cole Aldrich is out there with Dawson. Then it's Pierce. Then there's J.J. Redick. And it's Prigioni in at the one.
Boy, Vasquez, man, what an example of tremendous passing skill.
Here's Los Angeles now. Prigioni dishes to Pierce. There's the pick. It's Redick on the wing. Buries it from three-point range.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Yeah, and they either have been unwilling or unable to take that shot away.
Vasquez. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for two.
Well, the game's getting bigger, going international. But at least in the U.S., it really seems the game is going indoors. Back in the day, the legends of the game still played on the blacktop. That's becoming a thing of the past.
And speaking, Clark, of playground basketball, why do you think that is, that the players are going indoors?
Well, I think one reason is playing on hardwood is nicer. It's easier on your joints and safer overall. The game has changed and it's big business now, but there are still plenty of weekend warriors who get their hoop on outside.
Ennis kicks to O'Brien, and Jordan sends it back. And they'll keep possession. Here's Ennis. And again, the Bucks miss. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Paul for three. Rebound by Parker. Parker's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Lets it go from 11. That's good. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Paul outside. To the inside. Shot off the screen. Shot's good from Mbamute.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
And the dunk by Parker.
This guy is a high flyer. I mean, especially for a power forward, and he needs to be as an undersized player.
Paul outside. Shoots the three. Vaughn with the rebound. The Bucks have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Here's Vasquez, and that one's good.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Monroe's checked in for Milwaukee, and they call over the back here, too much contact.
And, you know, the NBA loves to experiment with different rules in different ways. The D-League last season used international rules for goaltending, and that small change makes a huge impact on the defensive end.
Now here's Vasquez, guarded closely. And it's blocked by Jordan. And here we go, fast break, Paul's got it. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
You got to like how they're getting the ball inside this half. They didn't have as much success earlier in the game, but now they're showing real determination in taking it inside to score.
Wesley Johnson's checked in for Mbaumute. Here's Monroe. Tries again. No good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Stolen by Monroe. Now here's Vasquez, guarded by Crawford. Parker passes to Vasquez. A shot by Ennis. Nobody around. No good with the triple. Los Angeles has gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 three-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket. Milwaukee has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. The 8-footer. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Paul outside. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Green with the block. And now the Clippers on the break. And the slam dunk by Johnson.
Great hustle to turn the block shot into a fast break hoop. That's a big-time play.
Now the dish to Vasquez. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense.
Well, there were a few complaints last season about how the playoff seeding was done, most notably in the Western Conference. Portland was the 4th seed for winning their division, but without that division win, would have been the 6th seed.
Henson's checked in for Milwaukee. Mayo comes in for Tyler Ennis. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Jordan. Pierce. Oh, wow. That's not as easy as he made it look, guys. You've got to have some skills to pull that baby off.
Well, he's got plenty of those skills necessary.
You know what? That man can climb a ladder.
Ennis, he's checked in for Milwaukee.
Tyler Ennis.
And Pierce over to help. Here's Vaughn, and Aldrich sends it back. And that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession. We've got 1:28 left to play here in the fourth. Clock at 6. Mayo, and that's for 2.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Clippers.
And they could do no wrong today, Steve. That's right. This was a team performing to its Clark fullest capability.
Yeah, and a very satisfying win for him, too. A game to remember, and on the other side, definitely one you want to forget as soon as possible.
And so with this, they'll end up with their 2nd win on the year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
The stats tell us, Greg, that the winner of the first game is a big favorite to come out on top in the overall series.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Chris Paul. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
And the Bucks making a change here. O'Brien's checked in. Rivers dishes to Pierce. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. And Redick kicks to Aldrich. to the inside. Intercepted. And now it's Mayo running. He can go all the way.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Offensive rebound. Aldrich. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. Cole Aldrich. That free throw, no good. And he's good on the second. We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Ennis with the ball. Pass to O'Brien. From down in the low post, it goes. 11 seconds left to play here in the fourth. From deep three-point range, no luck. Here's Ennis. So the Clippers winning this one easily.
Chris, how does a win like this help propel the team at this point in the schedule?
Hopefully it gives us a little momentum. We got a tough stretch coming up. We got our back-to-back next week, so hopefully it just gives us a little momentum.
It was a pretty good start, Chris. Thank you. Kevin, back to you.
Doris, thank you as always. And that about...
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Chris Paul. Just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot and just never cooled down. That boost he gave his team early on, a huge factor.
You know what? He's the total package as the floor general. There may not be an official ranking for the best leaders in the league, but if there was, CP3 would be right at the top of the list.
A remarkable 27 points from three-point land for him. With that kind of long-range shooting, easy to understand why they came out on top. When a team has a single player accounting for 9 three-pointers, that usually makes for a successful night.
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille.
Well, everybody, tell you one thing. Next time I'm doing MyLeague, I'll be for a while. Yeah, but here's the stats. There we go. Yeah. So yeah. Deuces.